So if you've been following my channel, I've talked a lot or shown a lot about trying to drain this wet area out in the middle. I dug a lot of ditches. I found a place for the water to go, and I took a lot of the material from the ditch and spread it out next to the ditch. That's these white areas next to the blue lines. Typically, these would be covered with wild grass by now, but since we had like zero rain this whole summer, they're still largely just dirt patches, and that's okay because I'm going to plant some trees there that normally wouldn't grow there. Typically it'd be pine trees, and there's nothing wrong with pine trees, but I want some diversity. I want some hardwoods. I just want a little change. This is not a tree farm, so I'm not trying to grow pine trees as fast as they can grow so I can cut them down. This is just our property. I want it to be as nice as I can get it, so lots of oak trees are going to be moved out to the middle where there were none before. And of course, being a little bit on the frugal side, I will try to move trees that we already have that are growing wild on the property, so I don't have to buy them. So let's go find some suitable candidates.
I come up to the highway, I walk the fence line, or we don't have a fence, but I guess it's a fence line. There are just hundreds of little oak trees, all kinds of trees, but they are 100% impossible to get out the ground because all the roots are like holding hands, and it's kind of frustrating because there's a lot of good trees here, but you can't get them, you can't save them. I gotta go look somewhere else. I was looking to grab 4 more oak trees this afternoon, and here's a little one, and it's not too close to a trunk, so I can probably get it, but it's got nothing above it. It's kind of on the edge, so it has a great opportunity to get bigger. So I'm going to leave it be. There's another little one here, and for the same reason, I'm going to leave these 2 be. I'm going to go find something else. Yeah, these should grow fairly fast. They're wide open to the sun. So let's find something else. So here's another nice sized little oak tree. It is next to this big huge pine tree, but it is also next to the road, so it is available, or it could possibly grow way out over the road. There's no reason to trim it. There's no power lines. So I'm going to leave this one be. And here's a little one that I could get because it's close to that one. But I've found when they're this close to a big tree, there's no way. The roots get too tangled up, and all I do is murder them trying to get them out the ground. So I'll pass on these 2, move down the road a little further. Here's a nice looking one. Again, it could grow to the road. It's got a pretty good pine tree above it. However, there's another one right here, and another one here, and another one there, and another one here, and then a different kind of oak tree there, and another one here. So I think I'm going to attempt to dig up 2 of these. We'll just see. When you hit a big root, I give up because I've learned that fighting with a big root just destroys the plant. So if they don't have a big root at the bottom of them, I'm going to dig these up and move them. Crap. There's an ant pile right there. I don't want to mess with them. Let's try this one back here.
This is kind of what got me started on this tree transplanting deal. This broken plastic pot, was in Coach's backyard. It had 4 little oak trees in it, probably from the squirrels burying seeds. So I said, what the heck? I brought it to the country. It was springtime, so I planted them. I was able to water them a little bit because we still had water in the ditch. But once the hot weather rolled around, there was no more water in the ditch. I wasn't going to use my precious cistern water, and I wasn't going to drive to the river to get water for these 4 little scrawny plants. So they were on their own, and they lived all summer long without water, or very, very little water. So that got me pretty optimistic in that I could actually do these and they'd stay alive. Now I've definitely gotten better at it as time went on. From 1, picking which trees to dig, and 2, just the way I dig. And it has rained a couple of times, which is huge because last month when I first started doing this, the ground was like powder. and when you try to lift up the tree, the dirt would just crumble out from under the roots because it was basically dust. So it's gotten better with a little bit of rain we've gotten. It's a good feeling when you jump on the shovel and it goes all the way in. You can kind of take that for granted until you get up in these tree lines, and then it doesn't always happen like that. So this one's cooperating pretty well. The shovel's going all the way in. I did have a couple of roots that I don't know why the shovel didn't cut them.
Okay, we got a good one.
The first go around, but I had to go back and mess with them.
We got a good one.
So this little tree came out about as good as they come out. And, this one's going to live. I'm 100% confident.
Oak trees grow pretty much worldwide, wherever there's moderate weather. And I've read that they have adapted by not adapting. They don't require a specific type of soil. They don't require specific weather. They're just utility trees, and they grow anywhere there's a little moderate weather. Okay, that one's got 100% chance of living because it has a big old root ball. I'm gonna try for one more over here. Try this one.
It is early December, and what I understand, this is the time to relocate trees. It won't be summertime anytime soon, so they can concentrate on growing roots and not leaves, and we get a lot more moisture because I've been watering the first dozen or 2 dozen that I have planted because we hadn't had rain, and it's getting kind of onerous because it's a lot of buckets of 5-gallon buckets of water that I got to tote back and forth. So I'm looking forward to at least 1 rain a week, which is kind of our winter norm, and I won't have to water these, and they have a better chance of starting out and living and thriving. They're going to have a lot more sunshine where I'm moving them to. The dirt is terrible. This part of Mississippi, you can drive around all you want. You will not see a farm. Nobody grows crops here because they won't grow. It's just clay. You see pine trees. People grow pine trees for a living, and people grow cows in pastures. But this is not farm country. So these trees are going to have to be really manly to thrive in this kind of dirt. But apparently they do if we can get them started without, dying. And
these little red flags are the 6 that I planted last time I came. Debbie helped me. And now I'm going to put 4 of them over here. And where I'm planting all these hardwoods is where I dug this ditch and then I spread this dirt out. So I'm like 100% confident this won't stay flooded all winter long. They won't do well if it stays flooded. I don't think it will. So I'm gonna dig 4 holes, go get some of that topsoil, bring my trees. I got 1 tree, and stick them in the ground and dip some water out the ditch. Hopefully, if I can do that.
I've been doing a good job or a bad job of chasing a deer around our property. I go up into pine trees and cut tallow trees and spray the herbicide, and I'm assuming they don't like that smell. They're very smell oriented, and then they'll go to another spot and I'll do the same thing because I've been going to every little nook and cranny spraying, killing tallow trees. I'm not using any chemicals to plant these trees, so maybe I won't disturb them too much. And they'll come back. We have the only property around with immature forest where they can really hide. The land all around us is mature forest where there's not much places for them to hide between the big trees.
So it's pretty simple. I dig a hole a little deeper than the plant. I mix the dirt from Colin's big pile because it has a lot of bio stuff. It was dirt and pine straw and sticks, and made several fires there, so it's got a lot of, I think it's rich. And pack it down. You can't pack it down too tight, hardly. I learned that from my dad, who was a PhD in plant pathology. He taught biology and botany at LSU. So that's that, and now I'm going to make a levee around it with dirt, and I'm going to fill the middle part with, where'd my bag go? There, with mulch, and that'll kind of stabilize the moisture content in the soil, keep it from getting too wet when it rains and too dry when it doesn't rain. At least that's what I'm told.
So starting from where I have the tractor parked, I put about a half a bucket of the better topsoil from Colin's pile, and then I stick the tree on top of that so I can physically carry it because I'm a good little walk from the tractor. And I put some of that good dirt and mix it up with this store-bought topsoil, whatever it is. It all kind of looks the same to me. And I put the plant on top and I kind of squish it in there pretty good. And then around the perimeter, I mixed this better topsoil, some of the existing soil, and some of this store-bought stuff. And I know that it's important to really pack it in there well, because if the roots are exposed to air, they're probably going to die. So these are not sissy trees from Home Depot. These are wild trees. They don't have the perfect root ball because they weren't raised in a little pot. So it's, I'm manhandling these things. I'm pushing hard. I'm stepping on them. I'm trying to get all the irregularly shaped roots covered and with dirt and make sure there's good contact. My dad was a plant guy. I never had the plant gene. I was never interested in doing plants. He could have taught me everything, but I just didn't have that interest. However, I have seen him transplant a lot of plants, and he wasn't dainty. He was big on using his foot and smashing stuff down. So I'm going to go with his guidance, and I'm packing his stuff in there pretty darn tight. Hopefully it'll work. I know some of these trees I've mangled, and I don't think they're going to live. I'm trying to get them out the ground, especially the ones I did in the beginning. I've gotten better at it. I was trying to get trees that I shouldn't have even tried to get. Some of these came from our house where I had some little oak trees growing in yogurt cups because we have a big oak tree and they kind of just sprout up. Just squirrels gave me hell. They kept digging them up, tumping them over, and I'd set them back straight and they'd tump them over again. So I moved all those over here and planted them probably too soon in the season when it was really hot. And I lost quite a few of those. But other than that, and then I transplanted a bunch of them that were in the under power lines because I know they have no future. The power line people are going to come every 5 years and cut them. So I probably pulled up some that shouldn't have pulled them up, but they didn't have a future anyway. So this is what I'm doing. I probably have 30 trees in the ground now. I can probably easily plant 30 more before it gets too cold to be comfortable out here to work.
So I went back out to the highway and I brought the generator and the Sawzall with a carbide blade. It's down there. I was thinking when I got to a big root and I wasn't able to dig, I could cut it with the Sawzall, but it didn't really work. So I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I could dig up. I'm gonna go plant them. No treasures here, but they are hardwoods and they're not pine trees, and they will live, I believe. I got a pretty good bit of dirt around each one.
Kind of more of the same. This was a couple of weeks before the last little clips, and it hadn't rained yet. It was still dry, so you can see I have the water tank behind the tractor, so after I plant them I can dump some water on them. And now I'm not on the edge of the road. I'm out in the middle of the 30-year-old trees on the other side of the power lines. Now there's not a whole lot of hardwoods here, so I'm kind of careful. I don't want to dig up the few that there are. It's mostly pine trees, but I can find a few if I look hard.
All right, this is kind of typical. I got 6 little different types of oak trees. Some of these I think are willow oak. I think that's what that's called. Probably not as desirable as some of the other oaks, but that's what we got. So we're gonna go plant them. Got 4 more little oak trees going in the ground today. I got 4 more about 3 days ago, and I got 5 more about a week and a half ago. So I had to buy another bundle of pin flags. I've been through 100 of them. Now I don't have 100 trees in the ground because I've used them for other things, but we got a bunch of them, bunch of trees in the ground.
Transplanting trees is one of those items on YouTube where there are just thousands of videos, and people make it sound like it is science, that you can't do it unless you're a licensed arborist, and everything has to be perfect. Hopefully I can prove some of these people wrong, but I guess time will tell. Maybe all my trees will die. I don't know. But this is the way I'm doing it, and I think we're off to something good. So typically when I'm digging in these dirt areas, the top 3 inches or so, or it's the new fill that I threw over there and spread around. And then I get into the existing ground, which is now dead grass. So I'm thinking that might be good, having that biomass down there. Might be bad. I don't know. Time will tell. Same deal again, except in this area, while I was at the tractor, I mixed the topsoil and the store-bought soil, mixed them together in the bucket. So that's why I don't have that separate bag with me. But I'm still using some of that store-bought topsoil, which to me looks like sawdust painted black. I don't know if it's any good or not, but we're going with it. So unfortunately, I don't have long-lived gene pool in my family. So I'm 70. Maybe I'll go 10 more years. It's not long enough to see these things really get big, but I would like to live long enough to see them get established and start growing. That's my goal. It would have been nice if I could have started this 20 years ago, but that's not the way it worked.
Well, I broke down this morning. We went to the plant nursery and bought some trees. These are azalea bushes. These are crepe myrtle trees. Those are river birch trees. $10 a piece. Unbelievable. Should have got more. Might go back. We got to plant them all now, though.